Any representatives from Pandemic Horde with us today?
Hey, I'm Cartonic Dawn. I'm here from Horde.
Then to Pandemic Horde. Tell us a little bit more about Pandemic Horde and why that might be appealing to a new player.
Hi, Newbros. So, thanks for having us on here. I'm Cartonic Dawn. I'm a director in FC for Pandemic Horde. Pandemic Horde is the new player affiliated alliance that was set up by Pandemic Legion and with a bunch of guys from some other new player groups as well. We generally go for a kind of laid-back attitude towards PvP. We want a very low barrier for entry, both joining the corporation and getting into ships and fighting. So we don't take APIs, we accept almost everyone. There'll always be free ships for people to fly in fleets and stuff like that. We live in Nullsec, live in Quarius, although we're deployed up to Okagaika in Lowsec at the moment, and we just run a lot of fleets all the time. We're very keen on getting people to step up and do things. We want people to be their own content creators. We'd rather people be able to do something than sit bored. So everyone can ping, everyone can FC, everyone can do pretty much whatever they like. And we want to do what we can to encourage that. So yeah, free ships, free skill books. We've got a mentoring system where new players can apply on the forums and they'll be matched with a guy from PL that'll help them generally by giving them ships, stuff like that, and talking them through, getting their way into the game fairly easily. And that's kind of it. That's basically what we do.
Excellent, good overview. And how many members? I may have missed that, but how many folks do you have in Pandemic Horde?
I had to look it up when I heard you ask someone else, but Dotland tells me there's 4,500 players in Pandemic Horde Corporation.
Very good. And if there was any one thing, what is it that kind of sets you apart culturally? Do you think, any particular aspect that would be appealing to a specific kind of new player?
The one thing that we obviously do is we have quite a lot of large fleets. We're more well known for our large fleet stuff. We've got easily fleets with 100 guys in almost every day. And the other thing is just getting people out there. Like I said before, we don't really have any rules, so people can do whatever they want. People can ping for fleets. Anyone can ping for anything. Whether guys turn up to join you on it is up to generally how idiotic the thing that you ping for sounds. But yeah, it's encouraging people to go out and do things themselves, encouraging content creators, and getting guys willing to step up and do things.
I also have heard a lot here about PvP, and you said they can do anything they want, but does that also include industry and other kinds of, PvE and non-PvP kinds of activities?
Yeah, absolutely. We set up a kind of a constellation in Quarius for our guys to do PvE in, so there's writing space and stuff like that. There's also some very well-known guys in PL that are kind of well-known for having made a lot of money, either through the market or industry, that sort of thing, and they're often able to mentor the new guys that want to do that sort of stuff. Most of our posted operations are PvP oriented, but we want to, provide the space for people to do industry stuff like that. We've got a pretty good market that's seeded by almost entirely Horde guys. We've got a Horde Run Jump Freighter service, which again is Horde guys that have stepped up to do that. So yeah, we like to be able to give encouragement in most aspects of the game. We've got channels in game that are devoted to these sort of things like exploration, going industry, manufacturing, that sort of stuff.
Very good, thank you. Pandemic Horde, what do you think is the one thing that you do better that sets you apart?
We're incredibly focused on PvP. So obviously we let people do all other sorts of things, but if you want to be out in space shooting something, I'd say almost any point of the day, 24 hours a day, or 23 hours a day, there's something that you can do in Horde. We also have a pretty strong FC training for medium to large scale fleets as well. You can get PLFCs to backseat you and that sort of thing. So the mentoring from individuals in PL is a big selling point in my mind.
Excellent. I agree with that. Question to Pandemic Horde.
So the thing you're definitely not going to get very much of at all in Horde is traveling in high sec. We've got a ridiculous amount of Vortex almost all the time, so you're going to be in low sec or null in a Horde. Like a couple of other groups, we don't offer SRP, although we don't feel that that's a weakness. We give free ships instead because we think that encourages people to get blown up. We're not so keen on the kind of sense of entitlement that comes with SRP. But yeah, that's it. If you want nullsec and you want fights, it's great. But if you want to fly in high sec, you probably want to join someone else.
Excellent. Move on to Pandemic Horde. Where to get information and how to apply.
Hey, so I'm going to paste something in the channel, but we've got a public channel, join Horde. People can join to ask questions, but if they want to join, they can just put in an application through the cooperation panel. You don't need to submit an API, you don't need to answer any questions, and you should be accepted normally within an hour or two. And you can just set up comms, get some free ships, and be in fleet later the same day.
Very good. Pandemic Horde, same question to you.
If you want to shoot spaceships and do that with as few barriers as possible, then I think Horde's probably the cult for you.
Excellent.